We are here to revisit the soy milk broth video. Not because it wasn't good. I feel like I didn't do enough to sell it to anyone. So what's over there, I have poached some pork belly in there, in that same soy milk broth for about 8 hours now. And we are going to add aromatics and herbs and eat that with noodles in a soy milk based broth that should be creamy, slightly sweet, and absolutely delicious. Never done this before. There are some, I guess, potential places where I can see this might not work out. For example, soy milk has a tendency to curdle pretty easily when exposed to acid and heat. Sometimes all it really needs is heat. I don't know if the spices and the meat and the fat in there will have caused the milk in there to curdle. Not that it would really do anything. It might make it a little bit unpleasant to look at, but we can always take that off and filter that out. Of course, curdled soy milk is how you make tofu, so we know it doesn't hurt anybody. We'll do just a little bit of chicken powder just to keep things nice and savory. You can use mushroom powder if you want to keep things vegan. Obviously this dish is not going to be vegan as we are cooking a whole piece of pork. Okay, a little bit of that. And we'll put this on. First, did it hold its shape? Yes. All right, cool. Let's see how we did. Wow, that smells really good. Oh my. So I made 2 of these, which in hindsight was probably complete overkill, but one of them didn't turn out perfectly, so I'm actually glad I did. So you see there is some coagulation on the pork itself, but you know what? I'm gonna rinse these. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It'll make my life easier. Rinse off all the spices. It might have needed, I had 2 recipes in making this particular one, where one is done for 24 hours. I didn't have 24 hours, if I'm gonna be honest. I did it at a higher temperature for less time. So it's cooked, but obviously if you give the one with more time, it's gonna be a little bit better in texture. Oh, yeah. That's nice. It needs just a touch of salt. And maybe some white pepper. So my reasoning for pork and soy milk is simply because I wanted to add some richness to the broth itself. And there's nothing more rich than just the fattiness that you get with seasoned pork. In here we've got the master stock seasoning, but you could also use 5 spice. There's some white pepper, there's salt. There we go. There was no char in here and we didn't even use soy sauce, so it's a very white on white. It's a white poached meat, which is by design because I wanted it to stay within the realm of that color scheme for the bowl. Fresh, dramatic, thick noodles. And since they're fresh, these won't take very long, I don't think. We'll just do this one as a smaller piece here. And this one as a smaller piece here. There we go. And one thing I think like diet culture or like vegetarian culture itself in the United States has done, unfortunately, is like make things a little too compartmentalized. People think soy stuff and they automatically think vegetarian or vegan or whatnot, which nothing wrong with that. That's not all it is. It can be so much more, and it can be delicious regardless of what you like to eat. Why? Oh, well, that's fine. That was just my boyfriend telling me he missed me. And so, like, with that in mind, I think it is worth revisiting and giving it another shot or a look. It doesn't have to be pork broth. It doesn't have to be chicken broth or beef broth. But you can still cook meat in it. Let's get some red in here. Wait, where's the Kashmiri chili? Ooh, that smells nice. This is the pork on its own, poached in soy milk with just some pretty simple spices and salt. It's really pleasantly mild. So the milk has done a really good job on counteracting the gaminess of the pork. And if this was just a little bit, salted or added to like a salty broth, that is delicious. Obviously, I can't eat too much of this. This is just like all pork belly and fat, but it's tender, it's steaky, and somehow the fat, oh, never mind, there it is. The richness of it I'm full now. That richness seems so much more like clean in a way. I think there is a thing here. There's definitely like more to this, and there's like something worth exploring because that is so nice. And I bet this is probably real nice too. Now remember, there is the liquid that we cooked this in is also in this. So there is like some beads of like fat in here. Wow. So there is like that added layer of like richness, but at the same time, there's that sweetness of the broth is like, I don't know, it kind of like balances each other out. So it's almost like a tonkatsu that is like not overbearing. This is just another win after win after win. And I think you guys should try it. You should definitely try this. This is excellent. This is excellent. My dogs seem to agree. Good.